Well, welcome everyone. How do we see? Oh, I guess we see the participants. Okay, I'm gonna put that on so I can see everyone.
Oh, we got Bobby Carvalho, good friend of mine.
I feel
Ina
like,
Chang.
mhm.
Wow, what a great audience we have today.
Yeah, we got to bring our A game. I believe.
Mhm.
And
Uh-oh.
we're bring it for everyone. So, well, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for coming. I know you're all my friends and family, so I really appreciate your support and love and care. And hopefully, we'll all get to learn something from one of my favorite people about essential oils as a cleaner for our homes. First of all, I want to introduce. We have Kyle, our moderator, so he'll be the voice of God in the background, telling us what we need to do or any questions that you might have. He'll be letting us know. And then we have Kathy Perkins, KP Perkins, who will be our person today teaching us how to clean. Well, maybe not clean, but at least make the cleaner. So Kyle, I don't know if you want to do the housekeeping.
Great, yeah, let me give you guys a little housekeeping and then I'll turn my webcam off and let you guys start the show. So most of you have done a Zoom call, you know, our new normal. So you'll know on the bottom of your panel, if you're on a laptop, it might be on the top or the side of your screen if you're on a mobile device. You've got an area where you can ask questions, leave a chat. I'll be in the background responding to your questions and concerns, so please chat there. If you have a burning question that you need to ask verbally, you can raise your hand, and then I'll let the panelists know, and then we'll bring you on so you can talk with them. And then also, if there's time afterwards, then we'll have, if you guys want, we can do a live chat session with you guys. I think that'd be kind of cool. So with that, I'm going to pass it back on to Caron, and let's get the show started.
Okay. Thanks so much, Kyle. He's my favorite wealth advisor, so I'm really feel honored that he's helping us with our webinar today. So I'd like to introduce Kathy. Kathy KP Perkins is a pro off and on the field. I first met Kathy through my friend Ina, who's on this call. Thank you, Ina. And it has been quite a ride since then. I feel like we might be even BFFs at this point. As a doTERRA Gold level wellness advocate, she has shown me the ways of essential oils. When I asked if she could show my friends and family how to make healthy concoctions for cleaning, well, that's literally what she does. Kathy has done everything from working at the executive level as well as customer service and marketing for corporations. She is fast-paced and loves to learn. Kathy gives back to our community, not only with her disarming personality, love, and grace, to boards and committees such as Junior League, YWCA, and St. Andrew's Priory, where she used to work. This lady can pretty much do anything. I have a lot of faith in her. And in my book, as she imparts on us that the greatest medicine of all is to teach people how not to need it. Kathy Perkins.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have I want to keep this to about 30 minutes, just in case we have questions coming back and forth. So if you do, like Kyle said, just write it in the chat and he's going to be the voice of God. I wanted to, let me just talk to you about why I got involved in essential oils, because I really thought that this was just stuff that was just not of interest to me. But I was in so much pain because I am such a klutz that I stubbed my toe while trying to jump over the cord while my husband was doing his treadmill. And my baby toe got stuck and it split. And I was in pain for about almost a month. Nothing helped, no pharmaceutical drug helped. I was even taking, I was ready to take, I didn't take some prescribed little deeper medication, but I didn't want to take it because it would make me drowsy. So I went to a class, on a doTERRA, an essential oil class, reluctantly. This was after my girlfriend kept telling me like 3 or 4 times to please come. And I said, nope. I finally went because of so much pain. And I put on a little bit of this rub, this thing called Deep Blue Rub. And within 30 seconds, my pain was gone. And internally, I'm saying, now I got to buy this stuff. I did. I loved it so much. I loved learning about all the ways that essential oils could help myself and my family that I started to share. Because you know, we're in Hawaii. We just, if something works or we like something, we are not afraid to share. Also, if something doesn't work and we don't like it, we're not afraid to share either. And so that kind of started me on my journey to essential oils and this healthy lifestyle, healthy living, which has expanded into green cleaning for my home, as well as I help take care of my parents. They're still living independent, and I kind of help green clean their home as well. So today we're going to learn a couple of, this is your takeaways for today. You're going to get a handout at the end of this webinar that I'm going to show up on the screen. So all you got to do is take notes. If you want, take a picture. If you're more of a visual learner and you need it in front of you. But I'm just going to talk real briefly about 3 ways to use essential oils. Then I'm going to talk about some cautions, and then the basic green cleaning supplies that you need, and then some tips. And then if we have time, I would actually do a recipe for you. If you're interested in more of those recipes, let me know at the end of this webinar, and then I'd be more than happy to give it to Caron, and she can pass it out to you all. It's the collection that I've done for just some basic oils that I've shared with my team. So I'd be more than happy to share it with you as well. So kind of let's get started. Okay, so there's pretty much 3 ways to use essential oils. And let me get you, I'm sharing my screen here, so hold on a second. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about, but there's basically 3 ways to use essential oils. The first way is aromatically. So you can diffuse, right? You can put in a diffuser, or you can just put it in the palm of your hand and rub it together and inhale. That technically is aromatic. The other way is topically. So that same drops of oil, you can actually put it on yourself, your area of concern, or when I say topically, I mean you could actually clean with it. So that's the topical. The third way is internal, and that is actually taking the oil internally. I would suggest you put it in that's not a product placement. Taking the oil internally, either with a stainless steel container or a glass container, never in plastic. I don't care how strong it is or whatever, the essential oils will actually degrade that plastic. I have lemon in my water, so I'm just a little refreshed. Okay, now there are many brands that you can buy. I'm going to talk about doTERRA because I will tell people that is the only brand I am knowledgeable about. There's many that you can find out there. Just be careful on the 3 ways to use your oils, because most of them you are not able to take internal. And to me, that's important, because if I am doing an essential oil aromatically through a diffuser, I am taking it internally because I am inhaling it, correct? If I am doing it topically, I'm putting it on my skin, and your skin is your biggest organ. So the oils will absorb into your skin. So that is why, to me, it's very important to try to find an essential oil and brand that I can use internally. That's my preference. You can choose any oil you want. If you want to learn more about doTERRA, you can always ask Caron, and we can kind of do a separate session. Okay, so just make sure you read your labels. All right. Now, the third thing that I kind of want to just talk about before we get into this massive product of supplies in the corner is that some oils are considered hot oils. So that means that these oils are maybe are very potent and should be maybe diluted before you put it on your skin. So oils like cinnamon, clove, oregano are considered hot oils. And you can kind of tell when you open that bottle and you smell it, it gives you this, whoa, this kick. If you test it, it'll give you a tingling feeling on your skin. So I would highly recommend that you dilute it with like fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, not necessarily olive oil, because olive oil is a little heavier. So it will not absorb into your skin that readily. Also, citrus oils can be photosensitive, meaning that if you're going to the sun, it could burn your skin. So give yourself 12 hours before you do it, especially if it's ripe citrus oils that are more orange or yellow in color. There's one citrus oil that is not photosensitive. That's called green mandarin, because it is actually picked when it is green. And that's a story that I can give you at another time. So we'll move on. Also be careful with dilution for age. So young kids, keiki, infants, you can use essential oils on them, but be very generous with the dilution. I will only use fractionated coconut oil. What that means is the fractionated part means that it has been distilled and it's more purified so that it will not coagulate and get hard at any at a cooler temperature. So and there's no scent to it. So it is an unscented coconut oil. So keikis and super seniors are in that same category because their skin gets really thin. Okay, I'm gonna show you some of these products now that are on the, I'm gonna unshare for now. Hold on one second. Okay, so I'm gonna show you, so these are some of the products that I wanna show you. Okay, so if you're not sure what these look like, especially, this is superwash or washing soda. This is a really good cleaner. You can buy this huge box that's pretty reasonable at a Walmart, Target kind of place. This is borax. I do this because it took me so long to find because I didn't even know what these things look like. I actually Googled it just so I could see what the boxes look like. So I'm sharing that to you, okay? Then you always wanna have distilled vinegar. I use Castile soap, unscented. I buy this whenever it's on sale. And I'll have to tell you, before this, when this craziness started, I actually bought a gallon online and the shipping was crazy. You always want distilled water. I'll put it here. Distilled purified is always the best, and hydrogen peroxide and some soap, not soap, but Epsom salt. Those are always like must-haves to have when you want to start green cleaning. Those are your basic supplies. So,
where are some of the places that you could get some of those materials?
You can get the superwash and the borax at like a Walmart, Target. I think even the grocery stores might have it, but when I had gone to look for it, I couldn't find it, so I just happened to see it at Walmart. You can get it online as well. Castile soap, this Dr. Bonner's, I use that brand. You can pretty much get this anywhere. I've actually found it on sale at TJ Maxx and Ross.
What's the lowest you've seen that? Because I saw it for $16.99 at Down to Earth.
This size, what size? 16 ounce, 16 ounce, I think this size is. Oh no, you can get this. It goes on sale sometimes at Long's or CVS, like buy one, get one for 20% off. I've actually bought this one. Oh yeah, here, the price is on here, $5.99 at TJ Maxx.
Oh, okay, I gotta go to TJ Maxx then.
Yeah, so it's kind of hit and miss. So when I see it, I buy it. And since I'm of that age, if you go to Ross on Tuesdays and you see it, you can get an extra discount. I don't have it here. I think I have it in the back. You can always have alcohol as well. It is not on this list right here to clean your home because alcohol has it will flash off really fast. So it's not necessary to have it in your cleaning products, because in your cleaning products, you want to be able to clean, right? What I like about these cleaning products is that it is safe for your pretty much all types of surfaces, meaning your natural stone, right? Or your vinyl, even your carpet, okay? But you just have to be careful in the concentrated doses. So you always want to test a small part. But washing soda, so if you follow my little, can you see my little hand? The washing soda and the baking soda, these two are really good to whiten. It's got a little cleanser in it, so it's a good scrubber as well. I also use salt as a cleanser, and I'll mix it in with the washing soda or baking soda. I love this because this is a really good cheat sheet, right? And I've actually used the washing soda to actually convert to baking soda, not to eat, but to clean. Now, if you're gonna mix white vinegar and peroxide, please be careful, do it slowly. This is my tip to you, because if you don't pour it in slowly, the white vinegar peroxide and the baking soda, if you don't mix it slowly, it will actually create this foaming lava. Lesson learned, my husband did that. And it was actually kind of funny, but anyway, okay. So he had to rewash again because he kind of wasted a lot of it, because he threw it out. So, but these two are really good to have. If you don't have white vinegar, which is a really good degreaser, then I would highly recommend you also have ammonia. Now that thing smells terrible, but if you dilute it really well, it's a great cleaning product to degrease tile. And also it does degrease vinyl flooring. But if you're gonna do it on vinyl flooring, I would highly recommend you dilute it a lot more than if you were in a clean tile. But those are really good as well. Borax this is also a great disinfectant as well. So this borax here. And what I like about it is they all pretty much cut grease, and they actually do deodorize. Now, you can add lemon juice, the actual juice of a lemon, or those little squirt bottles. I always have that because the acidity in the lemon is really what helps with the cleaning. So I also do add like lemon oil to the mix as well. But the citrus oils are made from the rind of the fruit, which is the sweet part, right? And the actual juices come from the fruit part, which is where the acidicness is. So if you're going to drink lemon oil in your water, and you have sensitive teeth to the acidity, then it's not going to bother you. It bothers you when you actually squeeze the fruit into water, because that's where the acidic is. So when the dentist tells you, oh, you shouldn't be doing lemon oil because the acidity is going to affect your enamel, that's really, they're not well informed, because there's no acidity in the oil itself, because the oil comes from the rind. Okay, I do want to talk about some of the oils that you might want to have on hand. Now, these are just generic names for the oils, right? Because these are more single oils. If I am talking about a blend that's specific to doTERRA, I will tell you so, because there are a few that are really good for cleaning. But if you look at this list here on the side, these are some really good oils just to have on hand for your green clean inventory. Okay, so like eucalyptus, grapefruit, all the citrus oils are really good at cleaning. So if you don't like the smell of one, then try something else. Like certain oils are sweeter than others. So like wild orange is a really sweet essential oil, versus grapefruit might be not as, right? Lemon, you think lemon has a certain smell because of what you squeeze, but when you squeeze it, you remember what that aroma is. But the essential oil is a lot sweeter than the oil, than the juice, because the juice has a more tarty smell. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is the best way that I can describe it. We remember, because we have our aromas are like muscle memory for us, right? You remember when you would go to your grandmother's house and she'd be cooking and what the smells would be, right? Or you smell a flower and you remember what that is, and it emotes a certain emotion to you. And essential oils are no different, right? They're just concentrated doses of what, and so that brings out these emotions. So some are pleasant memories, others are not. Ammonia is not a pleasant memory for me because it reminds me of going to school. Any right, all the lower school levels, you'd see the janitor cleaning with ammonia. Anyway, I don't know why that doesn't bring a sense of clean to me, but
We should just add a baked cookies essential oils.
yeah, I know, right? Like chocolate. Actually, we put peppermint in brownies, so people say that kind of brings back that chocolate aroma. I don't know. But so any of these oils would really work. If I can talk more specific on the blends, I wanted to just mention one though, and that was On Guard. It's not one of those pictured, but it's one here. This is On Guard. This is, to me, a multi-purpose essential oil. Here, let me turn it that way. I don't know if it's backwards. The glare, it's kind of hard to see. But I use this all the time by itself in just distilled water as a hand spray. I make it in this size container and I will spray it together. If you don't like this smell because it's got clove and cinnamon, then my last tip for because I want to just make sure of our time, is to put melaleuca or tea tree and lavender together. This is a great cleaner combo. And I actually, so I have in my garage and in my car, these size bottles. These are like 16 ounces, I believe. And because I love them, because you can spray any which way. And when we leave a store, before we get into the car, I'll spray myself down, right? And I'll even, if I go grocery shopping, I'll actually spray all my containers, the boxes or whatever, before, when I put it in the car, or sometimes I'll even do it in the parking lot in the shopping cart. And then when I come home, I will do that again. Just because if there was any surface germs, I want to kill it before I bring it into my home. That's the kind of crazy of me. In my husband calls me a germaphobe, but hey, nobody's gotten sick so far. So, so kind of, are there any questions that are popping up, Kyle or Caron? Can you see? Because I can't see.
Yeah, there's nothing right now.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you that for me, I have made hand wipes with these essential oils. I've made I call it my bathroom spray. And midweek, because I clean my bathroom once a week, but midweek I'll actually have a blend of melaleuca and lavender. And I'll spray my my sinks, my shower, and my toilet with this, and I'll just let it sit and evaporate because it will not harm the surfaces, right? The On Guard, because it's got a little bit of the citrus oils in it, I don't want to take the chance. So I just, if I was going to spray it in my shower, I wouldn't have a problem. But or my sink, but I don't want on my toilet bowl. I don't know. I just feel like the lavender and the melaleuca works well. So I keep that, I use that one. It really is depending on what aroma you like. And also when my husband cleans the shower, because bless his heart, he's willing to do that. He does use a lot of the lemon and the lime together because he likes that aroma. So, to me, doing these things are so much fun, right? And I like to come up with, just based on the aroma, different ways, different scents to try. And that's why when I buy this Dr. Bronner's, I always try to find the unscented or the baby one, because that way I put in the aroma that I want. And even though this is my cleaning product, I will still use my doTERRA oils because I know that I can I can take it internally. So that means if the aroma is out there, it's safe for me to inhale. And these are non-toxic products, right? Ingredients that I'm using. So it all works for me.
And Karen Shishido had a question. She said, will the essential oil ratios recipes be in the PDF?
No, they're not, but I have I'll tell you, I have this handout. It's a multi-page handout that has has the recipes with the ratios. And I will make a PDF of this one here. It's called Green Cleaning with Essential Oils. It's a two-pager. And I go to this recipe a lot. So I'll make a PDF and I'll share that with Caron. And I'll be more than happy to share that with you. With her, with her attendees, because I like these one as well. There's a veggie one, a fruit and veggie cleaner is a good one as well. I use that a lot.
Your recipe PDF. So that's how I made my dish soap. But I had a question about that dish soap though, because Sheldon said that it doesn't really, he doesn't feel like it cleans as well as Dawn, or it doesn't get as soapy. And I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
So,
You can add some washing soda.
oh, okay. So that's what the washing soda is for.
Right. Yeah, you can add the washing soda. You can add, or even add the borax, right? Because it cuts the grease. But you really, but you need to then add some salt. So what I would do is mix the borax, and the salt together. And if you don't have regular salt, if you have Epsom salt, sorry, this is just my container of Epsom salt.
Tons of I have tons of Epsom salt because I do put soaks. It's a big thing. Like I think a lot of my friends and family know that I recommend it all the time when people are sick.
So you actually would put your essential oil in here, right? And you let the Epsom salt absorb the essential oil, and then you can mix it with the washing soda and mix it together. So you have to give it time to fully dissolve, or sometimes what you're gonna have to do is just shake the bottle so that it goes through, so that it kind of like mixes together. That's the only thing, right? Dawn is already pre-mixed. And I have to say it does cut grease, but you know that what it's made out of, I'm not gonna say, but you know, it's not a natural product, right? So let's just say we can do better, right?
If you wash your hands or you wash your dishes like me, I use my bare hands versus so you know, a lot of friends have mentioned Dawn is bad.
Well, yes, and I understand what Sheldon's concern is because my husband is the same way. So I have a container of Dawn for him sitting on the side, and I have my container, and I have that first. So I tell him to use that. I'm slowly winning him over to using I use the On Guard concentrate, and then I add the borax to it. So I kind of like get a kickstart with that.
Could you real quickly show us how to make something simple?
Sure, I'd love to. Can I make, so I have a multitude of spray bottles. So I have this is the big one. This is a 2 ounce. So you see there's a big difference. And then we have these pocket size ones. This is a 15 milliliter. This is actually the size of your bottles, but I'll do it here, okay? Because I'm needing another one anyway. So I'm going to. You would usually put in this size. It's so many drops of oil per ounce of liquid. So obviously I'm not going to let you wait and watch me pour in like 50 drops or whatever. So I'll just pour in a couple, but know that there is a specific ratio, and then I'll just fill it up later. So we're gonna do like, so you just tip it, and wait here, can you see me dropping it in?
And for everyone, this is actually, I asked Kathy, how do you do that? How do you put like 50 drops? Because I always like shake it into things, and then she said, you just tip it. And I was like, oh, that's so simple.
Okay, here we go. Can you see that? Yeah, so you just have to, some oils are thinner than others, so they will come out of the bottle faster. So you can kind of tell by just tipping the bottle and seeing the movement of the oil, how fast it's gonna come out, right? If it moves around a lot in the bottle, then you know that you have to be a little bit more gentle, or you'll just get this big splash. But you know what? That's okay, because all oils are good oils. So I'm going to get some distilled water.
And I heard that distilled water is essential to a lot of cleaner because I'm not exactly sure why, and Kathy, maybe you could elaborate, but somehow it makes it like even when you put alcohol at, like some of my friends, I made alcohol and hydrogen peroxide, like a disinfectant spray, but it made it a lot easier for everything to mix together and actually be, for everything to work. That's what I was reading, right?
Well, yes, and if you really want that, see, like you don't need it like full witch hazel or full rubbing alcohol, because what that does is that just kind of like helps the oil and the water to splash off. So really the distilled water is going to be the key to a DIY. Also, when you think about it, that this hydrogen peroxide and rubbing alcohol is very drying. So if you're gonna constantly clean your hands or use it as a spray, it's gonna dry your hands out, right? So that's why sometimes people then add liquid vegetable glycerin or something. But if you just do the distilled water, that really is good enough, right? Because Hawaii's temperature is, we're so temperate in our temperature that we don't, it's only on the really humid days that things not flash off quick enough. So I just, for the sake of it, I just poured some water. It's almost 1 cup, which is gonna not be, is still gonna leave some room. So you're just gonna pour it in. And then you are going to, that's it, just cap it, and then you can spray. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see me, if you can see the spray coming out, but oh, it smells so good because it's lavender and melaleuca. That smells wonderful.
And so this is going to be used for what again? I just wanted to make sure.
I use it, so if you do yoga, it's a great way to clean your mat, right? Because your yoga mat is foam, or that foam rubber thing. So if you use a citrus oil on it too often, or it will actually eat it away. Because that's what citrus oils do, is eats away at plastic, because plastic is a petroleum-based product. So I'm gonna just demonstrate for you. So I have a, this is a coffee cup, right? A stainless styrofoam, not stainless steel, hello, a styrofoam coffee cup. I'm going to put a couple drops of lemon oil. So can you see, hard to see, yeah, hold on, I'm taking it.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that because of the glare, but I put lemon oil on and I spread it out, and we're just gonna let it sit because that lemon oil is actually gonna start eat away at the styrofoam. I mean, I can see it, but you know, my camera is just a regular camera. It's gonna start to eat away.
I can see it. It is starting to deteriorate.
Yeah.
I can really see it at that angle.
So just imagine you were spraying that on your yoga mat, right? Because it's pretty much all citrus oils will do this. It's just that lemon reacts so quickly that your yoga mat's just gonna eat away. Lavender and melaleuca are very high antibacterial oils, so they do just as good, but they won't eat it away. They won't eat away at your petrochemicals or your styrofoams. They're a lot more gentler to it. So, and you know, so that you know what you have in here, you can get a fancy label. I have some of them, but I've been just trying to be more DIY. So I actually get blue tape, but this one is purple, lavender. And I just write with a Sharpie what it is, and then I just actually stick it on and leave it in my bathroom just so that I know that's what it is. So that to me is the fun part. And then like when the start of this pandemic, I actually made like 6 of these, and I have it at with my parents and in my garage and stuff. I want to talk real quick about diffusing. So this is a doTERRA diffuser, but you can really get a diffuser anywhere. But some people says, well, I don't know how to use a diffuser. Okay, so if you don't want to read the instructions, cheat sheet version, you open it up and everything usually has a red dot or a line, okay? And that's usually where the maximum would be where you want to add your water. So in this particular case, you just add your water to the red dot level, which is actually this line that you're going to see around it. And then that is if you want the full usage, hourly usage of that diffuser. So this one here is a 12-hour diffuser. So an intermittent. So what that means, it's 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 10 minutes on. If you want continuous, then this one here is a 6-hour continuous. So you have your water in. Now you don't need to use distilled water because this thing is going to dissipate within the day. Okay. And then you would actually just drop the oils that you want in your diffuser. So if you're going to do it for 2 hours, then you only need 1 or 2 drops. If you want this to go on for 12 hours, then you want to have more drops. right? So I like to diffuse On Guard and lime together. Now On Guard already has some citrus oils. It's got wild orange, but I've been doing the lime during this period, and I just keep doing it. You can put whatever oils you want. I tell my team that just choose the oils that calls to you that day. I sometimes actually put frankincense in my diffuser, and some people are aghast because frankincense is a pretty expensive oil. But on some days that I need it, then I do that. Other times I'll just drop the oils under my tongue to get it into my body. So I'll actually, let's say it's lemon or lime, or even frankincense, I'll just open my mouth and then I measure it like this. So this, I know that this goes onto my chin and I just drop it in. I know we're going to another class on how to use internal, but that's kind of it.
We actually had a question about if you could use the essential oils on baby wipes.
As you know, I usually get paper towels and use the essential oils on that. There's a recipe in the PDF that I can send on how to make wipes, right? Disposable wipes. In a pinch, unscented baby wipes, and ones as plain as you can, even the ones without the aloes, whatever, that moisturizing, I would stay away from, because when you use those, you feel something. Because it's even whether baby wipes or makeup remover is the same philosophy. You can feel something. So I usually just use a paper towel, a thick paper towel, and I've in the past used one of these jars, and I mix all my liquid together, because you usually use water and a little bit of vinegar, and I even will put vegetable glycerin if I'm going to use it for my makeup remover, and then I'll put some essential oils. I'll mix it up, and then I'll put in my paper towels, and then I'll use that as a makeup remover. Let me show you the. Can you see it's?
Yeah, that is kind of.
There we go. Yeah, that was pretty quick, actually, right?
Yeah, that was really quick. That's kind of scary.
So that's why I drink lemon in my water every day. That's why it's, so I actually spit oil on my table. So whew, that's lavender. If I fall asleep, slap me so it wakes me up. Okay, yeah, so that's kind of some other products I'll talk about since we're.
Well, I'll ask, maybe, I don't know if Gloria, what's great is I love everybody that came. It's all my BNI, my Toastmasters friends, and then Cecilia all the way from the East Coast is here, and my auntie from Colorado, and then my mother-in-law from Culioo. So you guys might have some, and Nancy all the way in Colina. So if anyone has, and Racine from town. But if anybody has anything that they're in particular that they think they might want to hear more about, Kathy has all these great recipes, so she can talk about it forever. So if there's something specific, I feel like Gloria has something that she would want to use for her cleaning. So not to put you on the spot, Gloria, or even Caron, she's always has a need for things. So anyone want to know anything? Maybe even, because the recipe that I use, I think I gave one to Caron and to Lori, like a disinfectant spray. I got that recipe from Kathy. So and then I kind of added my own flair to it, and I lowered it because it was a bigger amount of liquid that I was supposed to make. So instead of using her bigger amount, I actually used a smaller amount of oils for each. However, I think it was way more than what the larger one would have, if you were to compare them. So I guess Gloria doesn't have any questions.
Yeah.
Mom, do you have anything? Oh, here, Dean, well, that's a surprise. Dean has asked, what recipe would be best for washing my face?
Oh, That's a good question.
Great.
Yeah, you know, because there's always that pH factor, right, on washing your face. Um, I just, to be honest, I just use the doTERRA face wash. There's a couple that I use. I've never researched a DIY face wash. I can certainly do that and share that with you, Caron. So then you
Yeah,
can share it with your team.
that
That's or your friends. That'll be a really interesting to see if there's a DIY skincare. That's actually really good. That's a good question. Oh,
a lot of things. Like I always am on Pinterest about avocado, and I think there is an avocado oil, right? Possibly.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There is. But you know, the thing is that, you know, there's a lot of products out there. I just try to find those that are organic, right? Because otherwise, then a lot of times avocado is grown as a GMO product,
Oh,
right? And
and it's green gold. And don't buy from Mexico because you know they use it to ransom people or something like that.
well, I just, but it's, if it's, so I try to find local avocado because then it's not picked when it's so green and then it ripens along the way, right? Like I like, you know, I mean, okay, no, I'm not this super crunchy kind of person because I love apple bananas and I love papaya. So I will buy local. I know that they are GMO because the industry was decimated, but I can't help it. I love it. So I'm not super to one side, but in most of my products, I try to do the organics. To me, it makes a difference, or I buy local.
We'll have to give you some of Sheldon's prized avocados. They're prize winning too, award winning.
Okay, I'm always game. I'll come to your house. You can give it to me. You know.
We do have a question, and Gloria does have one. See, I knew she would have one. She said,
Go for it, Gloria.
paper wipes for cleaning. What ingredients? Oh, shoots. What ingredients would we use for the paper wipes for cleaning?
Okay, so I have the recipe on here.
Okay.
And I'll tell you exactly what it is. Hold on. In fact, I have two options. So it would be water, fractionated coconut oil. Okay, that's one recipe. And the foaming hand wash, that's a doTERRA recipe.
Fractionated coconut oil here.
Can you see that one?
Yeah, hand wipes. Yeah, there's warm water, 1 tablespoon FCO. Foam, no wait, I don't know what the FCO is.
Fractionated coconut oil.
I was just holding that. Okay, got it. 1 tablespoon On Guard foaming hand wash, 3 drops On Guard, and then 24 half-sheet thick durable paper towels, and mix and add paper towels and let it absorb, just in case you couldn't see it. And then there's one with vinegar and rubbing alcohol. I think that might be the one that Gloria wants to have.
Yeah.
We're going to email you all the recipes so that you have them. I really love these, and you can always add. I actually use recipes to tea, and when I was using Kathy's, as I'm making these for my friends, I'm like, well, I can just add this, or I can like do it this way, and maybe just a little bit more distilled water. You know, actually there's no
They're flexible, right?
for distilled water, so you don't have to necessarily use 50 drops of On Guard. I'm a little frugal with my oils because I'm just like, I don't want to have to buy another one at the moment. So I just, you know, but always on the small ones, I'm a little bit more generous because there's less that I need to put in, except that there's more for the ratio than it would be if I had put like the 50 in everything. So although it's not necessarily 50, I'm just using it as a number. Let's see. And okay, for diffusers, when would you use it? That's a great question, Gloria.
That is a great question. I diffuse pretty much 24 hours a day. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm diffusing. So I have a diffuser everywhere.
That's my favorite time to diffuse is when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
So I use what Kathy gave me, Serenity. So that was a good one because it just has lavender and all the sleepy things in it. There I use Bobby's favorite word, things. So you could also use I like the peppermint for breathing, right?
Yeah. Peppermint, because peppermint is in that Breathe essential oil, or the blend. You can use wild or any citrus oil to kind of help to clean the air, right? So my girlfriend uses lemon in the kitchen when she cooks, just so that it keeps and she said it kind of actually helps to degrease the kitchen while she's cooking, especially she said if she's like cooking fish. And I never thought of it that way. So I thought, wow, that's an interesting end result or like a benefit, right? That you never really thought would happen. So I learned from my customers and my team members on how to actually improve and use essential oils. But to answer the question, you can diffuse anywhere, anytime, and change out if you're looking for a different kind of aroma, then change it out. So I've recommended to parents during this homeschool time that during the day when your kids are in their school mode, then diffuse a more uplifting oil or blend that will help with the concentration and the focus. And then at night or dinner, you want to do a little bit more calming oil so that they're more engaged in conversation. And then when it's bedtime, then diffuse an oil that will help them, calm them, and help them to sleep. So.
And ironically, Sheldon, who is not about essential oils at all, he's like, why do we have all this stuff? Actually, that's what he says. And I use it when we sleep, and he says, I really think those oils help me to sleep better. So I was like, okay, that's great. And then one of the other things is I was cooking chicken liver because I made chicken liver pate recently. And it's so I think some of we live in a 1-bedroom, and Sheldon says, I wonder if our friends wonder how we can live in a 1-bedroom. And I was like, I don't think they think about us at all about that. but we do live in a 1-bedroom, and I happen to leave all the doors open. So then with chicken liver pate, can you imagine it like totally goes through the house. So, and I don't think I like the smell of chicken liver at all. Okay. And so I actually diffuse right after I cook so that it could make the air in the room, in my bedroom, which I'm not even in at the moment, but in my bedroom and not in my living room, so that it takes away the smell. Mm-hmm. And it really does. I was gonna ask Sheldon because maybe he might have a better nose than me, and I go into the room and I'm like, wow, I don't smell it anymore, because I don't want to smell that when I sleep. And I should close the door, but I always forget. So I just diffuse instead.
Yeah. And so if people on the webinar have pets and they're curious to know if you can diffuse when you have a pet, the answer is yes. Just make sure that there is access if the pet, because pets have a very sensitive smell, right? So you might not think that it's strong, but your pet might. So just then have the ability for your pet to be able to just leave when they want. But you can use the essential oils on the pet, right? On your pets. And that would, again, be another class, so.
Gloria had another question about the diffuser. So how close do you set the diffuser when you're sleeping?
Well, my diffuser is right next to me.
Okay.
It's literally on my nightstand, yeah. And when I travel, it's right there on the nightstand between my husband and I. Oh. Yeah, so when I travel, as soon as we get into the hotel, I'll open up my diffuser and I'll diffuse On Guard and Breathe. And I'll just run it until we're ready to go to bed, and then I'll switch it out to Serenity or Lavender and Breathe. I'm always diffusing Breathe because I want for us to be able to, because usually when I'm in a hotel, my allergies start to act up more. So that's why I'm always diffusing Breathe. But I'll switch out between On Guard and Serenity, but I'm diffusing 24/7. Even when we're not in, I'm still diffusing.
So I actually put mine just because in our bedroom, our nightstands are full with stuff. So I put actually on my dresser, which is all the way on the other side of my, ends. So I can still smell it with that pedal diffuser. Mm-hmm. I can still smell it. And that's what Sheldon says, it helps him to breathe. But it is set higher than our bed. So I feel like that's because it's set higher, then it kind of goes all throughout the room. So I'm not really sure, I think it's one of those things that you have to test out and see what works for you. Right. So,
and if you have a ceiling fan as well, right, that kind of helps to blow.
I don't I don't have a ceiling fan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we
But
do use air condition sometimes.
my daughter puts the diffuser on her side, and the way the natural air flows through their bedroom, then her fiance gets to smell it because it just kind of crosses that way. Yeah. But my parents have their diffuser that's farther away because their nightstands are full, and then but they have a fan on, so they feel like it circulates in the room.
Okay, and then I also take this one last question because I want
One is 100 square foot radius that it covers. And then there are others that might be stronger that covers like a 300 square foot radius. So it kind of depends. And then there's those little ones that kind of do like a smaller area. So it's just going to depend on the size of your diffuser. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
Here's our last question. I'm not sure who it's from, anonymous question. Where do you get your spray bottles from?
Oh, that's a great question. So this one here is a doTERRA brand. This spray bottle here is a doTERRA brand. But these here I got online at aromatools.com. I usually go to, or even this smaller one that kind of disappeared on my, oh here, this smaller one. I got them at AromaTools. I tried just going onto Amazon and buying. So that website that I use, AromaTools, is not the cheapest, but their quality is really good, right? So I bought from others off of Amazon that the bottles leak here, right? Or the plastic, the insert will break off. Like this one here, these tops I got not up through AromaTools, and they're breaking. You notice they're too short for the bottle.
Got it.
So.
See, I got some, the ones that I gave Lori and Caron. I got these from Amazon, and I thought they were really good quality. I was surprised. I think they're from.
Okay. And I'm not saying that Amazon doesn't have good quality.
I think I got lucky. I don't know if it was like anything about Amazon or not, you know. And then I had this one. It's actually, if you can see, it says Pico on it. So
okay. I've heard of that brand. Yeah.
It's the flower shop. So this is. I'm pretty sure you could go to like Home Depot, you know, get some gardening supplies, and then you could.
Yeah.
I like to use glass, but you know, tell us what you think about glass versus strong plastic or plastic in general.
I usually use glass or aluminum, or even stainless steel, but you don't have stainless steel spray bottles. But this one is an aluminum spray. So I'll put my non-caustic oils. So I usually use this for my lavender and melaleuca. These two for my lavender and melaleuca. And then my On Guard is usually in glass. Just because the citrus oils have a tendency to eat away at the plastic. Okay. Yeah. And if you can buy extra of your spray tops, just the spray tops, then I would, because those are the ones that usually go out. They weaken the fastest. Yeah.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Kathy and Kyle, for putting this together, our first webinar. I just like to inform, we actually came up with this idea because, you know, first of all, Kyle is so kind because he's practicing on us to see how this goes. And I thought that was, you know, let's see what we can do. And then because of my BNI chapter and this podcast I listened to, I was like, you know, I'd like to help out my clients, my friends, my family with informational items. And so we, you know, I thought that the cleaning would be very pertinent to our situation now. And so we're going to continue. And actually, Karen's going to be one of my panelists in a couple weeks. We don't know what it's going to be on yet, but it'll be something Hawaii energy related since she works for Hawaii Energy. And then next week, we'll have Jamie Yoshida talk about feng shui, gems to use for your feng shui. So it's kind of a series on living green, even though, I don't know, I guess stones are kind of green, right? Living green with Caron Ling, because we wanted to make sure to promote all of this and see how it could benefit my family and friends, basically. So thank you so much for coming. I'm so appreciative that I have such great friends that attended our very first webinar. So thank you so much. And we wish you a happy weekend. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Sandra, for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Ina.
Bye, McKay.
Oh, McKay.
Yeah. And thanks, Nancy. Janelle, thanks for coming too. And
Hi, thanks, Deb.
and Deb, yeah. And thanks, of course, Lori.
You're looking uncovered in oil. Good for you.
I really like to think she
Sandra.
versus watching Kyle. And thanks, Auntie Sheila, for coming. And I think my mother-in-law already left, but thanks to my mom for coming. And yeah, and Sheldon. Oh, Sheldon even popped in. Thanks, Sheldon, for coming.
Oh, thanks, Sheldon.
Yeah, we really appreciate your support.
Thanks for the comment and the critique.
Yep. Bye, Auntie Sheila.
Bye, Laurie. Thank you for letting us borrow Kyle.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Thanks.